Hey guys, what's up? I'm Jan, this is Kalina, she's from US and I'm from Germany with a Polish heritage, and welcome to our YouTube channel.
In today's video, we're going to talk about how it was possible for me to move back to Germany during the pandemic.
Like many people, we had big plans for this year, visiting Hawaii, the whole West Coast.
Yeah, his first trip in America.
But that never happened.
So I was living here in Germany at the beginning of the year, but since our trip to the US was canceled, I had to go back by myself. We were separated for about 4 months. I mean, we were hoping it was going to be shorter. I had already bought a return ticket, but then this travel ban came from Europe, the European Union, that did not allow for Americans to enter.
Then our relationship turns into a long distance ship, but we made it, yeah.
We're still here.
We're still here.
So with this travel ban, many countries were excluded, these countries that are high risk areas, so definitely the US. But the EU came out with a list in August where they started adding countries that were welcomed back to the bloc, and they're going to check it every 2 weeks to see who else is welcome. And it just seemed like the US would never make the list.
No,
they still haven't.
We just lived in fear the whole time, but US was always on
too high numbers,
so it was just, yeah, how can I say that? We were just disappointed, like every single time.
So during the travel ban, there were other ways you could enter the EU, even if you weren't from one of these safe countries, but you had to meet some other requirements. So like married couples, their families, they were allowed to enter. There was also a bunch of other weird ways, like loopholes you could get in. Healthcare professionals, seasonal workers in agriculture, transport personnel, so obviously the people who are flying back and forth, if you're a diplomat or in the military, even seafarers. So I was like, how can I quickly become a seafarer?
Not a diplomat.
Not a diplomat, that's not so fast. But basically went through this whole long list and I did not meet any of the requirements.
So we came in this weird position just to wait and wait. I know we were not the only couple just waiting all that long.
And that's the good thing, is there were so many other people like us who were separated that they started, going to social media, trying to raise awareness with government officials that unmarried couples should be allowed to reunite and see each other again too.
And we were waiting the whole time, like, when is Germany,
come on
Germany, let's do that. But yeah, it took some time, but after some time they also allowed unmarried couples to see each other again, but you have to show them like some papers or pictures together, so it's not that easy, but at the end it's pretty easy to come here. I wrote so many times to the Auswärtiges Amt, but to the different offices, but they never respond. Thanks actually for that, but at the end their minister allowed to do that. Couple can see each other again. I'm pretty glad for that. So that's why we're here and can make this video.
Yeah. So here's the list of documents that were required for me to come back to Germany. So I'll have to check to see if that list has been updated. Some things may have changed, but for me, this is what they're asking for.
First, my invitation.
Yeah.
I invited her.
Yeah, so he wrote this beautiful invitation letter where, actually
No, there's not this one.
No. There's a lot of papers.
There's a lot of papers. I wrote this. Ooh.
Oh yeah. So he wrote an invitation saying that he wanted me to come, he wanted to see me, and then he had to make a declaration of the existence of the relationship. So now it's official. We're officially dating. Officially dating. Well, we have been, but we have now a nice document to prove that. So yeah, you have to have that signed by both of us, and then with contact details for each partner. I had to have a picture of his ID, and because I get so paranoid. I love to be prepared, and I was a little nervous about flying back. So I printed out the instructions from the government website, which actually helped a lot when I was flying.
Really?
Because this was the first paper I gave them so that they know what they were looking for.
Yeah.
Because I encountered when flying that in the US, when they were checking me in, they weren't really aware that this was a possible situation. So like many of the flight attendants had to call their supervisors and check on things, but in the end, I had all the paper.
Yeah.
I had all the stuff I needed to prove that.
In Europe, it was
It
pretty
exists.
easy to come here, like showing
Mhm.
everything. She showed her passport where
Yeah, so that's another thing. If you want to come back as a couple, then you have to prove that you have at least met in person before. So either that you've spent time in Germany together or that you have had a shared residence in some other country. So you had spent time physically together.
do I
So-
have somewhere another residence? I don't know.
Have a secret life
No,
somewhere else.
no.
I've been to Germany several times. I mean, I was here for several months at the beginning of the year, so that was proof enough just to have those passport stamps. Most intensive part was probably when I got to Amsterdam, and that's when I went through the border control, and she asked the most questions, but basically she was like, do you have proof? And I was like, well, like, here's my photos, pulled out my phone, scrolling through, and she's like, that's enough. I don't need to see that.
And she was like, oh, who's this guy, huh? What's his name? Where do you live? Then you arrived from Amsterdam to Düsseldorf, and it was pretty easy to come here. Like, you had to get tested.
Yeah, so Germany requires that if you're coming from a high-risk area, such as the United States, that you have to be tested within 48 hours either before or after arriving. But they make it so easy here in Germany that they have a whole testing center set up in the airport. So I just walked on over to the baggage claim. They had the testing set up, gave them my information. It was so simple. It was free for me at that time. And I just got the test. And then there was an app that I downloaded. They said my results would be ready in 1 to 3 days. I checked the app the next day and I was negative. So
Negative.
didn't have
Woo!
to stay in quarantine forever. But I think those rules have since changed. They've made it a bit more complicated with the testing and quarantine. So I can add a link below for more updated information on that.
So you came from US to Germany, and we handled some situation different than you. I mean, depends on the state where you are or where you come from. And yeah, in Germany it's still like wearing a mask when you go to shopping centers or to shops.
Mm-hmm.
But
no one here is really fighting it so much as I experienced back in the US.
yeah, there are some Karens.
But just from being here for a few weeks now, it just feels really different. Like it feels way more relaxed here now. Like things are starting to go back to normal and it doesn't feel as stressed out here. But again, that's because the numbers in Germany are more manageable at this point, where they've been able to reopen practically everything. Except minus a few things.
Yeah, except like discotheques.
Yeah.
They're still not allowed to enter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's hard.
It's not that hard.
No, we don't go to clubs.
We don't go anywhere.
No, just only stay at home.
So basically we're still in quarantine, but it's better because we're together.
Everything is getting back to normal, but at least we have to wait until it's completely over. So it can take some months.
Yeah, and it's still like really smart to be cautious at this time and just to be considerate of other people and to realize that while conditions have gotten better, this pandemic still exists. There's still a lot of things we need to be careful about and to just respect other people. At the end of the day, we both just feel really lucky that we can be back together, that I can be back here in Germany now. So let us know if this situation has affected you. Maybe you're separated by the borders right now, or in any other way the situation is affecting you, let us know in the comments below, or let us know if you're trying to get back to Germany right now. What do you think about it?
So make sure to like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe to our channel.
So we can keep making videos like this, talking about our life here in Germany. See you next time!
Bye!